Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're talking about tennis balls on set. Let's get into it. How and why do we use tennis balls on set? One of the key uses is actually putting them on the base of your stands, your stand legs. You attach it to the base of your stand and it helps protect the surfaces that your stand is on. If you remove the actual tennis ball off the stand here, you can see the base is touching. Sometimes the plastic ends up wearing away over time because it's on concrete or on hard surfaces, and then you have metal touching the surface. You don't want to damage or scratch a surface, whether it's wood floors, tile, or something to that effect. You get a tennis ball, you cut a slit into it, you slide it on, and it's ready to go. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Another key way of using it is when you have an arm sticking out, something to this effect, and normally you don't want to do something horizontal like this on set, but there may be a scenario where you have to. Instead of losing an eyeball from getting poked out, you take that same tennis ball and then you apply it there. It's a visual notification letting people know, hey, there's something there to watch out for, but also it helps protect your eyeballs, your neck, your mouth, your teeth, whatever it may be from getting damaged on set. So it helps with that. These are great when they're nice and bright because it's a visual. There's a stand there, the legs are sticking out, here are the ends, but also it's a safety thing. Now, what's really cool, if you're in scenarios where you have a stand set up and you need to move it just slightly, now the stand slides a lot easier because of the tennis ball. So that actually helps a bit too indoors. If you just need to make slight adjustments, you could shimmy them around with these tennis balls and avoid scratching the surfaces if it was just metal on metal. There are two main tools I like to use when cutting into these tennis balls. First off, a blade. This is like a craft knife. It has an extendable blade where you could break away at the blade if it gets dull. I like this because it extends out. And then the next thing is a vise. The vise helps hold the tennis ball. So let's go ahead and get into it. So right off the bat, you can see this tennis ball has these little notches on it, and that's where the two pieces come together to form the tennis ball, and it's where the seal of the rubber is. I like to go against that and go this way. So we're going to put the tennis ball in, make sure it's nice and secure. You don't want to make it too tight because then it ends up putting a lot of pressure on, and you don't want it to fall too low into the actual vise because you'll put a lot of pressure up here. If it's squeezing up here, it's not as good. Be really careful with sharp objects. This blade is very sharp, so I'm going to go very slowly with it when I go into cutting it. So we're going to start off right here. And I'm slowly going to cut into it, get it going. First layer is going to be that kind of fabric textile layer, and then it gets into the rubber, and that's where you'll start to get it sticking and fighting you just slightly. And you're just going to keep working it. Don't hurt yourself. Don't put your hand somewhere that it could get cut. I'm slowly going to work this, and I worked the actual tennis ball out of the vise. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to find my spot, and then I'm going to go right back into it and keep trying to cut and make sure that I don't hurt myself. Keep your other hand away if all possible. Be safe, work slowly. There's no hurry for this. You want to make sure you don't cut a finger off. A lot of people make the mistake, they'll get a tennis ball and they'll use their hand and they'll try to cut them like this, and they end up slicing their hand open. It's very dangerous. Another mistake people make is they cut these in an X. It's not as good of a solution because when you go to put something in there, it doesn't want to go in there easily and it becomes a problem, versus a tennis ball that's cut like this. You just squeeze it from the sides and then you could insert the stand or arm or whatever you're working on. So let's keep on cutting this one. It's getting very close to what we need. All right, let's go ahead and open it up and see what we have. So we're getting very close. Oh, we just broke the actual rubber layer and opened it up. So that right there is a little too small. So we need to open it up a little bit more. So we're very, very, very close. This is where a lot of people can get hurt because they'll put their fingers in and they'll start cutting it open. I'm just going to set this in here. So my blade's in there. And then I will bring this down. Be extra safe. And finish cutting what I need. Once you're through that rubber layer up top and the knife goes in, should be fairly simple to go the rest of the way. And I'm landing here, so I'm paying attention to where my knife is. So once the knife disappears here, that may be the sweet spot. So then it's repeatable, and that looks like it is going to work. So what's the best place to get tennis balls? Well, I just went on Facebook Marketplace, looked around, and some people that play tennis offload large amounts of tennis balls at a time. So I was able to get 100 tennis balls for just $20. Or you could jump online and get on Amazon. I'll put some links below for some great deals on tennis balls. Order them up, slice them, and add them to your kit. Thanks so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's get into it. They're hitting pretty good. You were worried they weren't going to hit me. They're hitting me.